Hi, this is Tim Page. This is the story of Allie the Armadillo in outer space. Allie visits the moon. Allie the Armadillo loved the sky. She loved the sun and the moon and the stars. As a small armadillo, Allie dreamt of traveling to outer space. As she gazed up at the moon from the safety of her burrow, her parents reminded her that that moon above was the same moon in the land they used to call home. When she was big enough, Allie went to visit the Canadian Space Agency. "An armadillo in outer space," said the man from the Canadian Space Agency. "What a good idea! But you'll need to learn more about math and science." Allie returned to school where she studied hard. She learned about gravity, magnetism, and inertia. She studied the rotation of the Earth around the Sun and the Moon's rotation around our Earth. She learned how to measure the distance between the Earth and the Moon and how to use the Moon's gravity to return to Earth. When she wasn't studying, Allie was dreaming. She rode moonbeams and swung across the sky from star to star, pretending to move at the speed of light. Allie went back to the Canadian Space Agency. "Good work, Allie. You're doing great," said the man. "Next, you need to work on your fitness. The better your fitness, the better your chance to become an astronaut." And so she did. Allie burrowed and ran and swam and pushed weights. Awesome for an armadillo. She returned to the CSA a third time. "We could use an armadillo astronaut," said the man from the CSA. "The timing is right." "Shooting stars," Allie said. "I'm at your service." Allie was accepted into the Animal Astronautics Program, a new division of the CSA. "Your mission," said the man from the CSA, "is to fly to the moon, dig like an armadillo, and bring back samples from the surface." For an armadillo who had always lived and traveled with her family, she was suddenly afraid. "What if I get lost in a black hole? What about those asteroids and all that space junk? What if I meet aliens? What if I have to go pee in my spacesuit?" Astronauts are trained to be resourceful, and she conquered her fears by picturing herself flying around planet Earth, floating in zero gravity, and imagining stars and planets that she would see. All her efforts prepared Allie for launch day. She fastened her seatbelt, ready to launch, her toy armadillo in front of her. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff! The rocket roared upward and pressed Allie hard against her seat. Before you could say Aurora Borealis, she had left Earth's atmosphere, traveling at nearly 8 kilometers per second. She opened her eyes and she saw her toy armadillo hanging in front of her, weightless. Outer space was vast and very dark. No more blue sky, no horizon, but darkness all around. Then she saw more stars than she ever could have imagined. Off in the distance, moon was coming ever nearer. It was just like she had envisioned, only better. She opened the hatch slowly, checking for aliens. "Shooting stars, I'm here," Allie told them back on Earth as she prepared to exit the rocket. "All clear." She bumped down the ladder and touched the moon. "This is one small scuttle for an armadillo," Allie said, "but a giant boost for all animals wishing to travel to outer space." She hopped and skipped as light as a feather in Moon's microgravity. She curled into a ball and rolled and vaulted and sprang around. She discovered 3 moon rovers, 2 golf balls, and a pair of space boots. Allie sat in a moon rover and took it for a spin. "Shooting stars, this is breathtaking. Allie was having so much fun she had almost forgotten what she was supposed to do. She pushed off the moon rover and floated and bounded and burrowed, gathering samples along the way. She stored the samples inside her armadillo backpack. When it was time to leave the moon, Allie placed her small toy armadillo on the surface. She climbed the ladder, stepped inside the lander, and closed the hatch. She fired up the lander and lifted off the moon. Home was far off in the distance, the perfect blue-green ball. Planet Earth floating in space. As her spaceship turned toward Earth, Allie saw a flash of something big heading straight toward her. Shooting stars, an asteroid. This was not part of the plan. Very fast it came, closer and closer. She grabbed her jetpack, hit not one but two eject buttons, and blasted away from the capsule. Crash! She spun out into space. Kaboom! She imagined the sounds as she watched her capsule explode beneath her. Chunks of rock and metal were flying in every direction, narrowly missing her. Shooting stars, think fast, she cried out as she attached her jetpack and fired it up. Allie had lost her ship, but with her training, she figured out what she had to do. She raced into Moon's gravitational field. She passed the far side of the moon like a slingshot and around back toward Earth. She flew the empty distance between the moon and home, the dazzling globe getting bigger and bigger. She entered Earth's atmosphere, falling fast. She held her breath and curled into a tight ball around herself. She was moving so fast that the air grew hot. Her jetpack was roasted. Her spacesuit was toasted. But Allie, protected by her shell, stayed safe. Splash! Like a cannonball, Allie hit the water. A few moments later, she bobbed to the surface. She uncurled slowly. Shooting stars! She was floating, but this time in the ocean, safely back home. The water and the sun, the blue sky and the clouds had never felt or looked so good. A helicopter sang in the distance. It came closer and hovered over Allie, pulling her to safety. Allie was taken to the Canadian Space Agency headquarters in Saint-Hubert for her medical. She was healthy and safe. The man from the CSA was there to greet her. Nice work, Allie, he said. Space travel is always a challenge. You had a dream, studied hard, stayed fit, and above all, you stayed calm and made smart decisions in an emergency. Even though we lost the spaceship, said the man, you still managed to return safely and protected the moon rocks under your shell. Congratulations, Allie. We did well to choose an armadillo. Allie happily returned to school, where she visited many classrooms full of children with many questions. As an astronaut, her duties were to talk about her trip to the moon, encourage young people to be inquisitive, to explore, to work hard, and perhaps to become an astronaut too one day. The curious students asked Allie, would you go to space again if you had the chance? Shooting stars, said Allie. Absolutely.